Hello friends, now we are going to discuss part 2 of chapter 2 of your accounting and finance for bankers, which is the second exam for our JIB. In part 1 I have discussed up to here how to calculate value of bond, and this 1049.44 up to here I have discussed in part 1. Now in part 2 I am going to calculate some more questions, okay, some more numericals. Now I have to calculate bond value with semi-annual interest. Here with annual interest rate I have calculated now I have to calculate with semi-annual interest. What happens? Semi-annually means 6 months. So in case of semi-annual, what you have to do? Interest rate you have to divide by, what is the condition for semi-annual? Means half yearly. In case of half yearly, like simple interest, compound interest in 10th standard we used to study now. If it is semi-annually, then we have to divide interest by 2 and we have to multiply time period by 2. This is the concept, okay. For semi-annual we have to, whatever interest rate is given, okay, you just have to divide by 2, and whatever the time period they are giving, you just have to multiply by 2. This is the concept for semi-annual. And another thing similar to question number 1 that we have discussed in part 1, okay, this thing we had discussed in part 1 now. So similar concept, but only one thing you have to keep in mind: interest rate you have to divide by 2, and whatever time period, maturity period they are giving, that you have to multiply by 2. This is the main thing. Okay, now we are going to start the formula. See, formula they have given. We need not to worry about. V naught means value of bond. Here they are saying I means interest, F means face value. Like this I have told you in part 1 now. So part 2 also same to same. So instead of learning this formula, I will directly go with the example. Okay, that is better for you and you will understand in a better way. A bond whose par value, face value is same. Okay, par value is 1000, coupon rate of 12%. I think same numerical now. Part 1 numerical, everything is same numerical they are again giving. 12% coupon rate they are giving. See, payable semi-annually. Here maturity they were paying now every year 12% per annum. If it is semi-annually means half yearly, okay, payable semi-annually and has a maturity of 3 years, and required rate of return is 10%. So what is the value of bond? Now you have to calculate the value of bond. So there two interest rate is given. One is coupon rate that we will take as interest, and second is required rate of return. So two interest rate are here. Okay, this required rate of return 10%. This will be helpful for PVIFA and PVIF. Now there only we are considering this required rate of return, and this 12% coupon rate we are calculating at the time of calculation of interest. We need only two things now. As I told in part 2, I need only two things. First is my interest, second is my face value. What is my face value? Face value is 1000. Okay. What is my interest? Interest means coupon rate. Coupon rate is 12%. But what I told you, it is semi-annually, so I will divide interest by 2. So 12% divided by 2. Semi-annually, so coupon rate will be 12% divided by 2. It is 6%. Okay. And required rate of return also. Required rate of return. What is required rate of return which is given? Which is 10%. Now required rate of return is 10%. So that rate also I will divide by 2. So this is 5%. And what is my maturity? Time period. Time period is 3 years. 3 years. Time period, what I will do? See, time multiply by 2. Interest rate we have to divide by 2 in case of semi-annually, and time period we have to multiply by 2. So 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. Okay, we have done our basic calculation. Now we just have to put the value. 1000 is the face value. What is my interest? Interest is coupon amount. Coupon amount is 6%. So 1000 multiplied by 6%. 600, it is 60 rupees. Okay, my interest is 60 rupees only. With interest, what I have to do? I have to put PVIFA. What is my required rate of return? Required rate of return is 5% only. And time period? Time period is 6. Okay, 5%, 6 year. Plus, with face value, what I have to put? With face value, I have to put PVIF, and same 5% that required rate of return and 6 year. Okay, formula I have created with interest, face value. Interest is my coupon amount, face value is my face value, 1000 rupees. Now with coupon I have to write PVIFA. This is what? This is my required rate of return, and this is my maturity period. Here required rate of return and this maturity period. And here while I am calculating interest now, at that time I have to take coupon rate, not required rate of return. This is a difference. Okay, two interest rate they are giving, so never get confused. We do not have to get confused. Coupon rate is helpful for calculation of interest only, and required rate of return, one is coupon rate, that is helpful for calculation of interest only. 60 rupees That's it. After that, you just have to forget that required rate of return, because this required rate of return, that is 10%, and we are dividing by 2, that is 5%. That will be helpful for PVIF and PVIF. That's it. Okay. Now 60. I have to go to the table and I have to see PVIFA 5% 6 year. See, this is our PVIFA 5% 6 year. This is 5% and this is 6 years. See where it is getting intersect. It is 5.076. Okay. This is 60. PVIFA this is 5.076. First table I have seen 5% 6 year. Second table I have to see PVIF 5% 6 year. PVIF. Okay. Plus 1000 I will write same to same. And PVIF 5 and 6 year I have to see. See, PVIF 5% 6 year, where it is interested 0.746. Okay, 0.746, 0.746. Two values I have taken. Okay, this value I have taken for PVIFA 5% 6 year, and this value I got from PVIF 5 year 5% 6 year. I have already told you how to see the table in part 1. Okay, so that's why I am not telling the same thing again. See, 60 multiplied by 5.076, and here also 60 multiplied by 5.076 plus 1000 multiplied by 0.746, 1000 multiplied by 0. We just have to multiply. 60 multiplied by 5.076 will come 304, and 1000 multiplied by 0.746 will come 746. Okay, up to here I have shown in register also. Okay, same thing left and right, two things I told you. You just have to multiply these two and multiply these two, and after that you just have to add the value. So 1050 is the value of bond. Okay, now we have discussed how to calculate value of bond with semi-annual. In part 1 I told you how to calculate annually, and here semi-annual also I have explained. Now next topic is current yield on bond. What is current yield? It measures the rate of return earned on a bond. It will tell what is the return I have earned on a bond if it is purchased at its current market price, and if coupon rate is interest. So current yield will tell that what yield, what amount I am getting, what return I am getting. Okay, it is helpful for measure of return, current yield on bond. And if it is purchased, it means you are purchasing from market, current market price, and coupon rate also you are getting. So what is my yield? That is called current yield on bond. Okay, current market price you are purchasing. So current yield, they are asking questions very frequently. This is also very important topic. Just one formula is there, that's enough. Formula for current yield is equal to coupon interest divided by current market price. What is the formula? Coupon interest divided by current market price. Now, what is my coupon interest? How to calculate my coupon interest? A bond with face value of 1000 carrying a coupon interest of 8%. Okay, what is the face value of bond is 1000 and coupon interest is 8%. So what is my coupon interest? Face value multiplied by coupon interest rate. So 1000 multiplied by 8%. Okay, coupon interest I am calculating. Okay, face value multiplied by coupon interest. Face value is 1000 and coupon interest is 8%. Percent you remove, I will put 100. So 00 will cancel, 80. 80 is my coupon interest. Okay, how to calculate? Face value multiplied by coupon interest rate. I just have to multiply the face value with coupon interest. I will get the coupon amount, that is 80 rupees. Okay, so 80 numerator. And current market price, they are saying that it is quoted in the market at 800, means in market it is quoted at 800, means its market price is 800 only. So 80 numerator I have calculated and current market price is 800 only. So 80 divided by 800 is 1 by 10. I want answer in percentage. If I want answer in percentage, so I have to put 100. I can put percentage. Okay, so it will come 10% only. 10%. Hope you understand this question also. Current yield of a bond. Okay, how to calculate the current yield, that I have explained here. This type of questions they are asking very frequently, so this is one of the most important questions. What is current yield? Now next topic is yield to maturity of bond. What is YTM or yield to maturity? It is a rate of return earned by the investor who purchase a bond and hold it until. So it is rate of return. I'm getting some interest, I'm getting some return, so that is called my yield. But when when I'm purchasing a bond and I'm holding the bond till maturity. So when I'm purchasing any bond and I'm holding the bond till maturity, so what return I will get, that is called yield to maturity of a bond. Okay, so important thing is until the maturity I'm holding the bond. What people are generally doing, they are purchasing the bond and its maturity is 5 years, 10 years, they are selling after 2 years, so they won't get the correct interest rate. But to calculate YTM, yield to maturity, I have to keep the bond, I have to hold the bond till the maturity. Or they are saying the second definitions again, and here they have given you an example. Okay, so now we are going to discuss this example. See from here, as you can see, this example is looking very tough, but in reality it's very easy. Okay, now I'm going to tell you how to solve this numerical. See, consider a 1000 par value bond. 1000 par value means face value of bond is 1000, whose current market price, but in market its price is 850 only. Okay, face value is 1000 but market price is 850, because possibly company is saying 1000 is the face value of bond, but in market people are just want to purchase the bond for 850, so market price is less. Okay, the bond carries a coupon rate of 8%. 8% coupon company is paying and has a maturity of 9 years. The bond is having maturity of 9 years. What would be the rate of return that investors earns if he purchase the bond? So they are asking calculate rate of return an investor will earn when he purchase the bond and holds till maturity. He is purchasing, the investor is purchasing and he's holding the bond till maturity. So you have to calculate rate of rate of return, that is called YTM, yield to maturity. They are asking you to calculate YTM. How to calculate? See, what is my value, what is the price of bond? Price of bond is 850. Okay, 850 is the price of bond. Now I have to calculate it. How? See, first what I will do, first I will take interest portion. Okay, what I will do, first I will take interest, then I will take face value. Bond is 1000 and 8% is my coupon. Coupon is 8% and 1000. So what is my interest? Interest is 1000 multiplied by 8%. Percent I will remove, I will put 100 and 00. 80 is my interest, so my interest is 80. What is my face value? Face value they are saying 1000, par value, face value. Okay, so face value is 1000. These two things I have calculated. So interest 80 and face value this. Like these two numericals I have told you, interest and face, you have to put one plus in between. Now with this, what I need, with interest, what I have to put? Interest PVIFA. Okay, how many years I need required rate of return and maturity period. Maturity period I am having how much? 9 years. See, maturity period of 9 years. So maturity period I am having 9 years, but I need rate of return, that is not given. I just have to put hit and trial. I do not know, I just have to put hit and trial. So for example I am putting 12%. Similar to face value also, PVIF 12%, 9 year. Okay, actually calculation of YTM is nothing but a hit and trial. That interest rate you just have to put hit and trial. How to put that hit and trial, that I will tell you. Okay, so 80,000, this is interest portion, this is face value with interest PVIFA, 9 year is given, 12% is just a trial. I'm just giving trial that 12% is my return. Okay, 10%, 12% like this you can just imagine. So 12% I'm putting. Now how to see the table? I already told you, 12% 9 year PVIFA. You just have to see the table. This is the table PVIFA, 12% 9 year. This is 12%, this is 9 years. See where it is intersecting. 12% 9 year. It is intercepting in 5.328. So this value is this value is 5.328. Like this I have to see 12% 9 year PVIF. Okay, PVIF 12% 9 year. PVIF table 12% 9 year. This is 12%, this is 9 year. Where it is intersecting? 0.361. Okay, 0.361. This value is 0.361. So what I will do? 80 multiplied by, this is 80 multiplied by this value I have seen from table. Okay, table value is 5.31 plus 1000 multiplied by this value I have seen from table, that is 0.361. Same thing here also, see 80 multiplied by 5.328, same thing hours also 80 multiplied by plus 1000 multiplied by 0.361 plus 1000 multiplied by 0. Okay, same thing also we have calculated. Now I will tell you from book only. Okay, 80 multiplied by 5.328, simple calculator, you have to put the value, you will get 426, and 1000 multiplied by 0.361, you will get 360. You just have to add the two value. So 787, what value you are getting? 787. And what is your market price? 850. Okay, so market price and that what value you will get, that is just required rate of return, and market price is just inversely. If you are getting the value, see 850, it is less than 787, you got the price now, this value got this price, this is less than market price now, it is less than, see, since the above value is less than 850, so we have to try with a value less than 12%. You understand now? 12% is just my trial, anything that is just a trial. So what I am going to do now, this value is less than 850, now I will take any value which is less than 12%. This value has come if I have taken 12%. 12% only my trial, hit and trial, so this value has come. This value is less than 850, so I am taking value less than 12%. For example, if this value is 900, just example, if this value would have been 900, so 900 is more than 850 now, more than market price, then I would have taken the value more than 12%. But here this value is less than, this value is less than market price. 787 less than 850, this value is less than the market price, so I will take the value less than 12%. Okay, 12% I had, that is my trial, so this time I will take any value less than 12%. Okay, so less than 12%, any even number you can take. Okay, so 10% I am taking. Similar thing, similar like first questions, 80 PVIFA 10% and 9 maturity period won't change, it is similar. Okay, we are just going to do trial for required rate of return, that they have not given, that we have to calculate what is the required rate, what is rate of return. Okay, now I will calculate with 10%, 9, 1000, 80, 1000, everything is same. Instead of 12% I am writing 10%, that's all. I need value less than 12%. Why? Because in 12% I got 787, which is less than 850. So if I put less than 12%, I will get more than 787. How it comes, I will show. 10%. From table you will see 10%, 9 PVIFA table you have to see, you will get 5.759. Same calculation I have already explained, that's why I'm not writing in register. Okay, 1000 PVIFA table you have to see, 10%, 9, you will get this value. You have to add, see 884 is more than 850. Hope you understand. So what we need, I need two values, one value should be more than 850 and one value should be less than 850. This is the main concept. It's not like we are just putting hit and trial and there is no concept. One concept is that whatever the market price, I need one price more than 850 and I need one price less than 50. So just I made one trial, I just put 12%. In example, whatever question they're asking, you can put 10%, 12%, like this only you can put. You can try with this only. Okay, so one value should be more and another value should be less. For example, if you would have taken 14%, so if you would have taken 14%, the value must be less than 787, that value can be 650. So 787 less than 850, 650 also less than 850, so that is not useful. I need one value more than market price and one value less than market price. Hope you understand. If you are putting interest rate less, then your market price, your price of bond will increase. That's what happened. One price I got 787 less than 850 and another price. So my basic thing is I need two price, P1 and P2. Just hit and trial, I need two values. One value should be less than market price 850, this one, and one should be more than that. That's it. After that I have to put one formula. Okay, that is called linear interpolation. This now 10 and 20%. It means my answer is somewhere between 10 to 12%. My answer is somewhere between 10% and 12%. So what is my correct answer? What is my correct rate of return? For that I'm going to tell you how to calculate linear interpolation. For that what I have to do, my range is 10 to 12% now. You can learn it as formula. So my small value, small percent is 10%. Okay, 10%, 12%, 2. So small one 10% plus we have to subtract 12 minus 10%. Then see how to solve this linear interpolation formula. First thing is my rate of return. R1 is small, R2 is big. Okay, so formula is first R1 I have to write Then R2 minus R1 means from bigger interest rate I will subtract small. 12 minus 10 multiply by 884. 884 means P2. 884 means my higher amount. My higher amount is 884 minus what is market price. Market price is 850, that is given in question. 850 divided by P2 minus P1. That's all. Hope you understand. R1 is my small rate of interest. Out of 10 and 12, 10 is small and R2 is higher. Okay, so small rate of interest plus R2 minus R1 means from higher I have to subtract the small rate of interest. 12 minus 10% multiply by P2. P2 means which is my higher amount. Higher amount is 884. 884 minus market price. What is market price? Market price given, that is 850 divided by P2 minus P1. P2 I got with the P2 means higher amount, P2 means lower amount. Okay, whatever it is. So 884 minus 787. This is just a formula I have created. You just have to understand what it is. R1 plus R2 minus R1. Small rate of interest plus bigger minus small rate of interest multiply by what is my higher bigger value. P2 is my bigger amount, P1 is my smaller amount. Okay, P2 is my bigger amount, P1 is my smaller amount. So bigger amount is 884 minus market price 850 divided by bigger amount minus smaller amount. Hope you understand. It's not that much tough. See, again I am telling you, 10 is my small rate of interest, bigger rate of interest R2 minus R1. Similar to here, bigger amount P2 minus P1. Here from bigger amount we have to subtract market price also. See, bigger amount R2, bigger rate of interest R2, smaller is R1. Similar to denominator also, bigger amount P2, P1 and P2 minus market. Just I'm telling how to learn the formula. Okay, how to recollect, how to keep in mind. And 10. This is the formula of linear interpolation. Same thing they have done here also. See, small rate of interest, 12% is higher rate of interest, 10% is smaller, and this is my P2 means higher amount minus 850 market, higher amount minus lower amount. Okay, higher amount, lower amount. Just they are subtracting it, you will get 34, subtracting it 97, 2%, it will come 0.71. Okay, after removal of this percent you will get 100 also. Okay, you will get 0.71. So 10 plus 0.71 percent you need not to remove, 2% you keep it like in percent only. So 10.071 is 10.71%. Okay, so YTM is 10.71%. Hope you understand. This is not that much easy also, not that much tough also, but only is hit and trial. This is just a formula for hit and trial. How to see the value I have already told you. First is interest, then is face value. 12, 9 is given, 12, 10, that is just my hit and trial. Okay, one value should be greater than 850, one should be less than 850. Okay, and then this formula. By this we can calculate YTM. Okay, with this part of your end of your part 2 and a few questions also there, few numericals, duration of bond, that I will explain in part 3. By that time you practice it, and thank you so much for watching this video.